Good to see everyone. We want to take this time during this health crisis to talk about some things that are going on in our program and how we're staying connected to our team during a very peculiar time when kids aren't on campus, and how do we reach them? How do we touch them? And we're doing that via Zoom calls. It's going to take an opportunity to talk to some different people in the community, people that help our basketball program, people that are have been great to Virginia Tech. And the first that we'll talk to today is Anthony Wilson. Anthony is the chief of police here in Blacksburg. We are honored to have with us today Chief Anthony Wilson, Chief of Police, Blacksburg Police Department. Chief, how are you?
Doing great, Mike. How are you?
Really good. Thank you. Trying to manage. A couple of questions for you. Give us a general idea of what life in Blacksburg has been from your lens over the last month or so.
Well, like I said, it's certainly changed the way we live here. The good thing was about 6 weeks ago, we started some pre-planning and so on to kind of see what would happen should the COVID virus come across the state. So we already stood up a task force, and we were dealing with a lot of the frontline issues of drive-through testing and so on and so forth. But so we've ended up being more of mentors and coaches ourselves. It's less about punishing folks and more about answering questions and trying to let people navigate something they've never done before. And that's something like this. So it's
how has the virus affected your police force, and are you having to reduce the amount of officers that are on duty? Can you do that with fewer people in Blacksburg right now? What challenges have you faced as you've dealt with that in terms of your force?
That was a critical question from the very beginning, was how do we navigate, because we're one of the entities that crosses across all segments of society, and how do we do it safely where we're not going to be the ones who introduce the virus into a nursing home or a very critical piece of our infrastructure. So we instituted online reporting for our citizens. They could simply come online and do an incident report. We do a lot of phone work. I've got everybody working. We are doing a very robust health kind of program with my employees. We screen them both 2 times a day. We are directly connected with both our hospitals and our Virginia Department of Health folks to make sure all my guys and girls are healthy. We are asking the public to kind of remember, that we're here every day, 24 hours a day, but be mindful of our health and safety as well. And our contact with you could very well be hazardous to somebody else. As kind of the head coach of this outfit, part of my job is to constantly reinforce them and keep coaching them to be better every day, to feel like that we're building a machine that protects them, and that these citizens really do care for them and care for what they're doing.
Anything more we can do as a community to assist? Anything you'd like to see us do better that would help your staff and your police force?
Well, I think it's, we're on the edge of how do we get back to normal, because we're going to be in an incremental kind of return to normalcy. I think that you guys, if you come up with a great model, share it with us that says, this is how we anticipate this. This is how I'm going to recruit. This is how I'm going to do things. I think if we look at each individual business, and I count each one of the teams at Tech a business of their own, if you come up with a best practice, you share it with us, and I'll share it with the industry.
I know lunch spots around town are a little different during a quarantine. Once we reopen, what spot are you looking forward to opening the most?
Well, I'll tell you the thing, and I already did it. I won't lie. I'll tell you, the thing I look forward to opening the most was my pool, which we opened 2 weeks ago. So Yeah, so we have temperature about
Good.
80 degrees. So if you want to sneak out of social distancing, you can come over to my house.
I'll do it. Thankfully, one of my favorite spots in town is Jersey Mike's, and I am committed to uh, number 9 is my sandwiches. With that said, Chief Wilson, the Blacksburg Jersey Mike's location on South Main Street wants to get back to you and your staff this Thursday. Any and all any on-duty officers in the area can come in and grab a free sandwich. I want to say a special thank you to Chase and Sarah and all the many good folks that work there at Jersey Mike's and do such a fine job. And on behalf of the Jersey Mike's Blacksburg team, thank you all, Chief Wilson, and your staff for your support, and we will all get through this together. In closing, I think you know my feelings toward you as a friend and your police force. I admire you. I admire those that work with you on a daily basis. I appreciate your time today, and always thinking about you and pulling for you during a tough time.
All right, thank you, Coach, and thank you to Jersey Mike's. That's an incredible offer, and I'm so proud of the local businesses here who have done just what they're doing, and we really thank Jersey Mike's for this effort.
During this health crisis, to talk about some things that are going on in our program and how we're staying connected to our team during a very peculiar time when kids aren't on campus, and how do we reach them? How do we touch them? And we're doing that via Zoom calls and FaceTime calls, most every day, and certainly 4 and 5 times a week, just to check in on them and make sure that they're getting their work done as best they can. We've enjoyed those interactions and to be able to see their families and to communicate with them. Again, just to stay in touch with them and ensure that they're where they need to be and they're being supported as best we can. Nahiem, give us an idea of what it's been like since the season ended. We finish on Tuesday. We're in spring break. We send you home. The next day, the ACC tournament is canceled for the season and for the duration. We extend spring break another week, and then it becomes obvious that this is a disaster and a very serious matter, and we can't get you back for the spring semester. What have you been doing at home, and what does a week look like for you as you reintegrate yourself into your family's daily deal?
Yeah, this whole situation has been weird, just stuck in the house all day, not really being active, trying to stay healthy. But every morning at 6 a.m., me and my family, we just get up, try to work out our whole body, push-ups, curls, abs, anything, try to get better. And then in the afternoon, I get a little ball handling session in, and it'd be me and my brother, try to get him right too. And I bring out the goal up just to get some form shots in, one dribble pull up, trying to just stay active, stay in shape.
That's awesome. Daryl, you and Michelle are both former college athletes. Got to see you all behind the bench at a number of games. That was a pleasure. What has this experience been like for you as you look at this crisis and how it's affected everything, your sons or both children's education, everything going online? How have you all adjusted and adapted to what we're faced with right now?
Well, yeah, it's been tough at first, but the main thing is we're all healthy, and that's all we can ask for. The season sitting behind the bench when it was a great season, man. We enjoyed every game, man. Wish we could have made more. Next year we will definitely make a lot more, But just going through this day to day has been eye opening because you take stuff for granted that you just being able to go outside and just the contact with your neighbors and stuff like that. My youngest son goes outside and plays with his neighbor, Now it's kind of like, you got to stay away a little bit more and everything like that. So I'm just, looking forward to everything getting back to normal and, getting this guy back to you.
I'll take it. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
The second that they give us the go ahead, we'll take him immediately. Daryl, Nahiem, this question is for both of you. Daryl, if you would start, walk us through and walk Hokie fans and basketball fans through the steps toward making the trek down I-85 to getting the goal. What led to that decision? And talk us through that a little bit. Daryl, you first.
Well, the first couple of days when everything happened, we're kind of in the house and we're enjoying his company. And it was like, all right, we have to get back to work. So like you said earlier, we get up 6 a.m., we're taking care of our body and everything, but it's like, all right, we're trying to find somewhere he can get some shots up. And the parks are closed. You can't get in any gyms. And it's hard. So it's like, man, we don't want him to fall too far behind and everything. And it's crazy because we looked around all the stores here and no goals were available. And we finally found one. It was on the borderline of Tennessee, it took me an hour and 40 minutes to drive to go get the thing, man.
Up north of Dalton.
Yeah, yep, yeah. 75 all the way.
Yeah, 75.
Yep, the next couple exits we'd have been in Tennessee, man. But it was either that or just try to wait this thing out. But you never know when it's gonna end. So it was like, hey, just throw some gas in the car. Let's take this trip, man. We took it, and it's not ideal, but it's been helping. Definitely helping a lot. So we're grateful we took the trip, man.
Let me assure you, Hokie basketball is appreciative of you and Michelle making that sacrifice, and good to see him out there getting some shots up over the weekend. Nahiem, what were your recollections of those conversations? And then who put it together? You can't put anything together. Did Amari put it together? You had nothing to do with it, Nahiem. I know that.
It was my mom. She looked up on the internet. She found there was one goal left. I mean, I paid for it, so.
Did you?
Yeah, I contribute to it. So, I was glad that they got the goal since everything just closed down. Can't go outside like that. But ever since then, I've been on it 24/7.
All right, Nahiem, you reclassed and joined the 2019 class. Describe for us, if you would please, the process, the emotions of possibly redshirting, if you'll recall those conversations. I can remember it vividly. In your own words, talk us through that thought process and how it all worked out for you.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard process, just kid just trying to hoop. I was just trying to play basketball, until then I had to make a decision. The real truth is I was about to go to Brewster Academy,
yep.
try to get my body right for the collegiate level so I can play right away. I wasn't really too sure for myself that I could play in the ACC, the best conference. And then Coach Frazier, he texted me, trying to get me up here. He was like, yeah, we'll get you the red shirt and things like that. I was like, all right, if as long as I red shirt, I think I'll be fine reclassing up. And then I got up here, second guessing myself, like, man, should I have gone here and stuff like that? Because at a certain point in time, I was like, man, I wasn't like feeling right, just like trying to get to my groove during basketball. But then Coach Frazier came up to me and was like, just calm down, just be yourself. And sure enough, I just been myself. And a couple practices, I felt like I was ready to go. And, we had the talks about playing this year.
Daryl, I could remember some, very, professional conversations, and you and Michelle are just awesome people to deal with. At the end of the day, we both, your family, our staff, wanted to get it right for your son. And I think and I hope, on your end that you all feel like we did. Certainly Nahiem's contributions to Hokie basketball this year were incredible, and he's only going to get better and better. Anything you'd like to add to that?
I mean, like you said, going into it, we wasn't sure. But I knew, me and my wife, we knew that we trusted you and the staff. And, we had seen you, coach your team before, and we definitely thought it was a good fit. I think the only question for us was he ready with his body and everything else like that? So after, talking to you and Coach Frazier and actually talking to Nahiem after he got away and got up there and got some practices in, I remember talking to him on the phone. He was like, yo, I think I could do it. I think I could go. So I'm like, all right. Now we took a ride up there, dropped the rest of the stuff off, and that's when we came to see you. We had the good conversation. And like I said, me and my wife, we wholeheartedly trust you and the staff. And it's been, a blessing ever since, man. I'm glad it was the right decision.
We appreciate your family. You know that. And you know how much we enjoy coaching your son. Nahiem, I have another question for you. We threw you right to the fire. I can remember like it was yesterday, putting you in that game at Clemson, first game, college career, just a couple hours from your backyard back home. Your folks are there. Amari's there. Brought you off the bench early. You banged 2 humongous first half threes, went on to score, I think, 11 for the game. And to prove to yourself and to everybody in college basketball, not only do you belong in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but you're a young man that's going to flourish in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Take us back to that memory. That was a couple months ago. Take us back to that game where you were spectacular. Any recollections of that game, the lead up, and the game itself?
Yeah, man. First collegiate game, man. I was nervous.
I was nervous for you.
I was nervous, just sitting there, just like thinking in my mind, like, I'm really here. I never thought I would be playing the ACC. And I just all thanks to you, Coach. Just sitting there.
You earned it. Don't thank me. You earned it. You made it happen.
Like I usually play. Start off playing defense. Like playing defense would get you on the court more. So that's what I started with. And just led to, I remember the play, Hunter got the rebound. I'm over here sprinting to the corner. Saw BD on the wing. He pitched it to me in the corner. I banged it.
Nahiem, Daryl, Amari, if you guys had any idea in my 35-year career, and I can think of so many really good players, I think you've got an idea that you're onto a special person when he puts the first shot of his career in the bottom of the basket. I have seen really good players take their first shot of their college career and that thing end up in the next county. Take a chip out of the glass on the backboard. But this guy sets his jaw and he cans that thing, which is a big shot. Clemson had gone on a little run at that time before Nahiem's shot. Another question, Nahiem, when we had a tough matchup from the opposing team, really good offensive player, that matchup typically went to either you or Wabisa Beatty. Who's the toughest matchup you had this past year? What matchup or 2 matchups that you walked off the floor at the end of the game scratching your head as if to say, he's pretty good. He's tough.
Dang, there's like a few. I can definitely say Buddy Boeheim and Elijah Hughes. Those two, they could score the ball, man. They could score that.
Did Vassell at Florida State? Was somebody else guarding him when we played the Nahiem, was that somebody else or was that?
That was Beatty. That was Beatty.
I knew it was Beatty. I knew it.
Yeah, he was a tough one too.
He was terrific. All right, let's see here, Nahiem. Daryl, fan submitted questions.
Okay.
Let's go, my man. Let's go, Mark.
Hey, bro, what was it like dunking on Devin Vassell?
Well, at first, I really thought I missed it because the way the ball came off my hand, it kind of went in and out. And when I fell, I was just like, did I really just miss the shot? And then I heard the whole crowd going ballistic and just like, oh, I guess I made it.
One of the most impressive athletic plays I've seen in my career, I can tell you that. Just an incredible athletic play, and you had a number of those. Maybe not as spectacular as that play, but you had a number. All right, I've got just some real quick hitters for you, Nahiem. Funniest teammate?
Jalen Cone.
Jay Cone. Worst driver?
Kevin.
That doesn't surprise me. Best dressed? Booth Radford.
Yep.
The Raging Cajun. If you were running late, which teammate could you call that would get you where you need to be ASAP? Hunter Couture. Hunter. All right, last one. Which teammate would also be running late?
Kevin.
Kevin. Yes. I think you got a 100%. Got them all right. Hey, you guys know how much we love your family and appreciate y'all. Really appreciate you doing this for us today. And Nahiem, we'll talk again soon. Call if there's anything you need from us. Daryl, we're going to take him off your hands as soon as we can. You know that.
I know it, man. We appreciate you, Coach, man. Love you guys too, man.
Thanks a lot for everything. Wish you well. Wish your family well.